Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Lion's Den with Stephen Carr. And today we're going to be talking about saving the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and what's at stake and why it matters and what needs to happen here in Pennsylvania. These past 2 weeks have been so critical and such a loss to Pennsylvania because we have lost two special elections to two Democrats, legislative district 12 and legislative district 8. Legislative district 12 to Brandon Duke, a Democrat, in the special election. Which has been staunchly conservative and Republican for 28 years now has faded away to becoming blue, with Brandon Duke winning the special election over that candidate Daryl Metcalf, and then Butler County's own election, Scott Timko against the Democrat. The Democrat won that election, so we lost that one in legislative district 8. If this continues, we will see our Commonwealth fading away to blue, and our our rights and our freedoms limited and eliminated by the PA House and the governor that is in now, Josh Shapiro, and the Senate. Look, the Democrats are aiming for a trifecta. They want the Senate seat. They want the Senate seat. They want the House. They want to retain the Governor's Mansion. They want control because they know what's at stake for Pennsylvania if they win. Those who control Pennsylvania control the money funneling into Pennsylvania elections and into lobbying issues and topics, and they control the legislation and the bills. If you win Pennsylvania, you win America. It is that simple. That is why it's a keystone state, because just as important it was for President Donald Trump in 2024 to just win Pennsylvania to get the White House. It is just as important as it is for Democrats and Republicans to win Pennsylvania and their own turf, so they can control the money, they control the legislation, and they control the bills and the mandates and the redistricting of maps. And it's going to take this country for a whirl. If you've seen what's happened in New York, if you've seen what's happened going around in Virginia, and what's going around in Maryland, and what's happening in California, it will soon happen in Pennsylvania if we don't get the PA GOP and the county GOPs don't get involved in their committee and in their committees, and don't get involved in the special elections. If we don't get a foot on this, we will lose our Commonwealth. We must keep the Commonwealth red. It's been a battleground state for such a long time, since its institution in America and in settlement. It is the state of liberty and freedom, where Benjamin Franklin and the Declaration and the Constitution was signed and ratified in the Liberty Bell, and Benjamin Franklin lived, and John and Penson and many more of our people, many more of our founding fathers are. We got to get back to where our founder fathers were with the Constitution and America and its great experiment. Look, our founding fathers knew this was a Christian nation when they created it, when they created the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Our founding fathers were Anglican Catholics, Anglican, Catholics, Baptists, Anabaptists, Puritans, Quakers, and many more. And we got to get back to to our founding fathers on this on this on on this experiment and going back to our roots. Look, Gen Z is now leaning 60% more liberal, and is becoming more. Gen Z is also Gen Z women are becoming more feminist and being sour towards men. We are losing the Gen Z vote. More Gen Z, 17% of Gen Z say that they're Republican, 27% say they're Democrat, 56 say they're leaning independent right now. And we need to control this, because if we start to see, if we lose Pennsylvania to the Democrats in November 3rd on the general election, you will start to see your taxes raised. You will start to see the gas prices raised. You will start to see your Second Amendments restricted with red flag legislation and your religious freedom taken away, like they did during COVID. You'll start to see the deconstruction of the nuclear family by more people, more kids transitioning to transgenderism and LGBTQ and so forth. And you'll start to see, and the family is the most biggest of them all, because the family is one of the oldest institutions in American government. It's the family, the nuclear family, the church, and religious freedom are all, religious freedom and the government. They are the three biggest institutions. If the family is strong and conservative and it's growing, so will the church. And the church will likely, then they'll carry those moral values to the election box. In the election box, they vote in moral elected officials and Christians who are willing to work for you. But we must continue this. We must continue to save the Commonwealth, because in 2030, you will find 2030 we have a consensus coming up, and the Supreme Court has the legislative maps, and all it takes is for the Democrats to go to the judges and ask them to redistrict Republicans out of their district so they can't run, and make it harder for Republicans to run again or ever, and put more Democrats in. It has been done with Kerry Del Rosso. It has been done with Scott Wagner in his governor's seat, or I think it was a Senate seat, and it will continue to happen with many others running for office. And here is just a graph to show you. As you can see, total primary turnout in competitive Pennsylvania state Senate districts in 2022 to 2026. As you can see, it says Democrats 2022 primary, it says by primary, and so forth. You can see each one. And so there you have that. So we need to continue to, so I don't care who you talk to your friends, talk to your family members, talk to your neighbors, get them all out and vote. This is how we keep the Commonwealth. Every election is war. Every election is a battle. We must continue to fight in every single election. Get registered to vote. I don't care how you vote, mail-in ballot, in person, early voting, but go out and vote. Look, the Scott Timko lost in Legislative District 8, which was Butler County, the same county that President Trump won by thousands in 2024, where he was shot, and now a special election was lost and to a Democrat. If this continues, we will see the downfall of America. We will see the rise of communism and fascism and socialism in America, in our own states, and we need to continue to fight every single time. This is how we drain the swamp. This is how we deconstruct the administrative state. This is how we take out the institutions, as the Constitution says. And we need to go out and vote. I showed you the graph, and now it's time for you to take action. Go out and vote on November 3rd, 2026, up and down the ballot for Republicans. Get involved in your local elections. If you're a low voter, I hope you're hearing this. If you're a low voter that's only voted once, twice, or 3 times, go out, get registered to vote, or go out and vote in this election. It means so much to Pennsylvania, and we must go out and vote, and so forth. But that is how it is done, guys, and we must continue to do that. We also have a special election here in York County. Here in York County, York City, Spring Garden District 95. Jasmine Rivera is running again. She ran in 2024. She is a mama bear, a conservative, a Republican, America Firster, a York County Firster, a blue-collar worker running for state office. She knows what it's like to be a blue-collar worker, to work in Spring Garden District in Pennsylvania, and the 95th district. She's running against Carol Hill Evans, who has berated her and talked bad about her, and called her things during the NAACP thing. I think I can find it for you here shortly on X. If not, but we need to continue to do that. We need to continue to push for Jasmine Rivera to get out lazy, no good for nothing Carol Hill Evans, who voted for a Taylor Swift resolution in the House back in 2024. And we need to get her out. We need to get Jasmine Rivera in, and because it's a Democrat stronghold in the 95th district. It's only been Republican since the 1980s and 1990s with Lee Stanford, and been Democrat ever since. Once I find out, see here, find it for you. But we need to continue to keep doing that, and keep pressing forward with getting her elected. I don't see her. Don't see it anymore. Let me find it for you guys. Jessica, let me find Jessica. Hold on, maybe that's be it. But we need to continue to keep pressing forward. But I have found it for you guys right here. Let me pause it and go to here. Let me share the screen. Oops. So let's see. So here you go. It says, this is from my friend. It says, listen to York County Representative, Representative and State Government Chair Rep. Hill Evans attack House candidate Jasmine Rivera at a NCAA event. According to Carol, the sole purpose of Jasmine's campaign is a racial advantage to gain Hispanic votes for Rep. Kiefer's bid for Senate, not because Jasmine saw a broken system that works to keep the poor and disadvantaged in an endless cycle of poverty and wanted to do something about it. Not not based on Jasmine's own merits as a hardworking mom, well-loved in the community, with her own individual political beliefs and policy positions, but for political leverage due to her race. who still, who still, who still Jasmine sat beside Carol, who still Jasmine sat beside Carol at the event, listening to the entire distasteful appeal. Can you imagine how Carol would respond if she show was on the shoe was on the other foot? But because Jasmine has an R behind her name, it is acceptable. This has to be one of the most foul, hypocritical things I've learned from Pennsylvania politicians, from a Pennsylvania politician in a while. I grew up in a blue-collar family. This type of unprovoked rhetoric and race baiting is largely why I voted. Hold on, I don't think you can see it. Hold on. There you go. There you go, guys. So here we go. Let me do this again. Listen to York County Representative, State Government Chair Rep. Hill Evans attack House candidate Jasmine Rivera at a NAACP event. According to Carol, the sole purpose of Jasmine's campaign is a racial advantage to gain Hispanic votes for Rep. Keeper's bid for Senate, not because Jasmine saw a broken system that works to keep the poor and disadvantaged in the endless cycle of poverty and works to keep and disadvantaged and wanted to do something about not based on Jasmine's own merits as a hardworking mom, well loved in the community with her own individual political beliefs and policy positions, but for political leverage due to her race. Who still Jasmine sat beside Carol at the event, listening to this entire distasteful appeal. Can you imagine how Carol would respond if the shoe was on the other foot? But because Jasmine has an R behind her name, it's acceptable. This has to be one of the most foul, hypocritical things I've heard from a Pennsylvania politician in a while. I grew up in a blue-collar family. This type of unprovoked rhetoric and race baiting is largely why I avoided politics most of my life and what turned me away from the Democratic Party, the party that champions diversity, equity, and inclusion. Is really the party of hypocrisy, hate, and deceit. NCAA says, will you remain silent? Carol owes Jasmine and the entire York County Hispanic community apology. And now we will show you.
Right now, today, they're looking for power. This is how it works. There's a senatorial seat in the 31st, the one that Mark Timmons is running for. We're now in a district that's up north. We're with Cumberland County, all of those folks. There's a lady by the name of Dawn Kiefer. Do you know Dawn Kiefer? Probably. You might have heard the name, but have you seen her? Has she been here? No, but she needs Hispanic votes. So why not get a Hispanic person who has more influence in the Hispanic community to get those votes, to send them up north so that Dawn Kiefer can get into the Senate and make it even worse than what it is and drop the city of York like a hot potato. Right now, today, they're looking for power. This is how it works. There's a senatorial seat in the 31st, the one.
Hold on, guys. I'm getting some for you guys here in a minute. I'm going to show you where you can go to help support Jasmine Rivera and how you can, and what you can do to help her out, because this is a podcast about action and getting things done and getting things, and getting involved in your agency and campaigns and what needs to be done. This is a grassroots action podcast. So here so let me go to here real quick. So here you can go to, so as you can see, it says meet the candidate, it says on the issues. We'll go there. You can see what she's like. Say on the issues, fight for school choice and parent rights. Eliminate school property taxes, support small business growth, promote sensible criminal justice reform, offer choice with a conscience. You can go down here to get more need information. Public defense. You can go here to volunteer. It says take action. It says you can go. It says how would you like to volunteer? Knock doors, display a jazz yard sign, host a meet and greet, help a campaign event, work at a campaign headquarters, be a poll worker, donate. Just put your name in there. Check off the boxes where you would like to go. I'll put the link underneath of both of these when I get a chance. When I get off of here, see what else I can do. So there you have it, guys. We need to get involved. Go to Jasmine Rivera for PA.com. It's the first link when you hit enter, and take a look at her page and get involved and so forth. We also have another special election in 196 as well. George Margettis in a strictly Republican district in York County, who needs your support as well. So please get involved and take action. But this is where we need to begin right now at this time. I showed you what needs to happen. So I will talk to you later. Also, if you want to follow me on my X, you can as well. I'll show you my X account. So you can follow me on my X right here. As you can see, my X account. So there you have it, guys. I'll post all my links and all the links I showed you and so forth underneath. Well, thank you for your time.